Hey everybody, welcome back once again to Trials to Triumph. I'm Pastor Brad Closter from the Rock Church in Bel Air, Michigan. Thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate that you would be willing to give me the time to speak into your life like this. I always hope that this is a great benefit to you. I never want to do this to waste your time, but I think if you consider me wasting your time, you probably wouldn't be watching this in the first place. And you know what? Faith is not a waste of time. And that's exactly what we've been talking about, as we've been talking about having faith in God and what faith looks like and how to practice faith in our lives. And last week I talked to you about beginning the process of opening your mouth to pray and the things that we need to start praying about. We need to start talking to God about, and we need to believe in our heart that God can do that for us. That's what faith is. And that's what it looks like to walk in faith. So let's continue tonight. I've got another verse for you, which is out of the same section that I shared with you last week, and it's Mark chapter 11. But this is a very short, very simple verse, and I want to share this with you because it really gets to the heart of the issue for me about faith. And it's Mark 11, 22. Jesus answered and said to them, he's just talking to his disciples, and Jesus said to his disciples, have faith in God. Now, you wouldn't think that as a pastor I would have to have this conversation with Christians, but here we are. And I'm not accusing you or me of anything other than sometimes we just forget these basic things. And sometimes people don't put these things to practice in their life, even though they know them. And that's a very dangerous thing, is we know what to do, but we just don't do it. But here's the deal. As believers, as Christians, we got to get back. Listen to that. We must get back to having faith in God, trusting God more than we trust our circumstances. The Bible talks about that we see things with our natural eye, but we have to understand that all that is temporary. I'm totally paraphrasing. But we can see things with our natural eye, that all that's temporary, but it's the things that we can't see that's eternal. And oftentimes, as humans, one of our major downfalls, if I want to say it that way, one of our major downfalls as humans is looking at our circumstances as the reasons why or why not anything can happen. And we tend to overestimate the power of our circumstances and underestimate the power of our God. I think that's pretty good preaching right there. I'm going to say it again. We tend to overestimate the power of our circumstances and underestimate the power of our God. And I hope that through these simple little teachings like this, that whatever it is that you're going through, you look at that circumstance, because the reality is when you look at that circumstances, you are seeing that right in front of your face, because it's what's going on. It's what's happening. Pastor, I can't ignore the facts. This is what's happening in my life. I don't want you to ignore the facts. I don't want you to pretend that something isn't going on. But I want you to look at that circumstance and have the bravery and the courage to look at that circumstance and say, you are not more powerful than my God. Circumstance, and it's okay to talk like this. Circumstance, you are not more powerful. You are not more able. My God is able. My God can do something greater than you could ever imagine. And we have to get back to trusting in God. This is what it's all about, is just simply having faith in God. And you know, Jesus even said in Luke 18, Jesus said that there are things with men that are impossible. And you ever feel that way? You ever feel like you're in a situation that might be impossible? Or I have no idea how to get out of this. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. We've all been there. And Jesus said, you will come to plenty situations in your life that with men, it's impossible. I can't do it. I want to do it, but I can't. I'm hoping that I can accomplish it, but I know that in my own strength, I just can't do this. I cannot fix this on my own. But he said, good news, because even though with men there are things that are impossible, with God, nothing is impossible. Or I think he said all things are possible. And see, that's great news. And when we talk about faith, this is one of the hearts of the issue, is believing that something better is possible. You know, I feel like I talk to a lot of people that don't really believe that. That they believe that, oh, something better, wouldn't that be nice? Or wouldn't it be great if? And we almost treat it like it's a wish. Like, I wish upon a star, I really wish this could happen. But we tend to not believe that it's actually possible for us. That we can actually see in our life the benefit of something better because God is moving for us. So I want to challenge all of us on my side. In this, I challenge myself as well, because I think all of us need a reminder of these things. But let's get back to a place where we can just simply say, I have faith in God. Now, how do you know if you have faith? How do you prove it? I'm going to take you back to what we talked about last week. You can prove if you have faith in God by what you're saying and what you're believing. What you're saying and what you're believing is proof of who you have faith in. If you have faith in your circumstance, then guess what you're going to do? You're going to talk about your circumstance. If you believe your circumstance, then guess what you're going to do? You're going to talk about your circumstance. But if you have faith in God and you have belief in God, then you know what's coming. You know what you're going to do? You're going to talk about your God. And you're going to talk about your belief in God. You're going to talk about what God can do. And that is a telltale sign on whether or not you're living in faith or not. So my very simple challenge and statement to us tonight is have faith in God. If you're not sure if you do or not, just check the words of your mouth and check what you're believing, either your circumstances or your God, and that will determine and help you understand who you're believing more. Hey, I hope you're believing in God, and I hope you're having faith in God, because that's what brings you strength. Hey, thanks for joining me again tonight. We'll see you again next time on Trials to Triumph.